Our next stop for Behind the Brand Buzz is Shebang.
We're housing approximately 800 to 900 creative and technology experts in the Bombay office.
Camping that you guys did around the social distancing time for Fevicol, and that was very popular.
For a large business like, let's say, a Domino's, you would still need technology to manage the ORM so that you can quickly reply.
But there's so much that goes behind making that content work.
Which means I'm writing one topic with a semantic strategy, and semantic means one topic expanded in multiple.
I saw that there's a cat sitting over there.
Chief Cat Officer is what he is. When we say all-inclusive, we are actually on it all-inclusive.
But it doesn't just stop at a CMS. But what about if I need to now bring in different forms of content?
Where ChatGPT and tools like copy.ai sort of come into play is for ideation.
This was a misconception which was there, I think, prior to 2020. When it comes to Zoho having tools, I don't think there is any tool that is left which Zoho doesn't have.
You'll have to give a marketing pitch.
Plunge into the floods. Because what comes first? Your rubber duck comes in colors yellow, green, blue, purple.
Are you guys convinced with this pitch? I think it kind of looked like a Julius Caesar draft. Our next stop for Behind the Brand Buzz is Shebang. And these guys are experts in technology, and they're going to explain how marketing cannot thrive without technology and how both of it goes hand in hand. And for that, we are going to be meeting the leadership team at Shebang. And whatever the insights that they're going to share with us is so based on their experience that it will be very, very useful for any business that is looking to implement marketing along with technology in their firm. When I came inside and I saw the lift was painted yellow and it had such wonderful things written on it, it kind of gave me a glimpse that why Shebang is known for its creativity and its tech. Right. So the lift said, this lift will go up and down, but in Shebang will take you to place.
Correct.
So this kind of thing is very interesting. This also, I found that it's a little peculiar with all the digital marketing agencies where they spend so much time in the aesthetics of the office. Right. And what are the things that are put out and how, the color, the theme, right, and all of that. So do you want to explain more on that?
Sure. So I think for us, we're a people-driven organization.
Right.
We're in the service business. We serve our clients and our people serve our clients. So it's very important for us to maintain that culture and gives our people or people who work at Shebang a feeling that they can not only, if they come here for a particular expertise, they doesn't mean that they cannot excel in some of the other areas. And that's actually the beauty of our organization. You come in for, let's say, a content writing, and if you then have an interest in technology, of course you need to bypass certain internal assessments to move your organization, to move your departments.
Right.
But that's the beauty of it, where we want to give people the option to go places, and that's typically what we're trying to do is convey in a lot of our external communication that's there. Yeah. So the current office that we're in is actually one of our first offices that when we started out Shebang.
Right.
We're housing approximately 800 to 900 creative experts, creative and technology experts in the Bombay office. Okay. We've got 4 locations. We're in Bombay, Bangalore, Delhi, and the UK.
Okay.
We've got SEO experts sitting. We've got content writers. We've got creative thinkers, video editors. So all of this is sitting under one roof under one building, serving multiple clients and providing integrated services for it.
Right. If I talk about Shebang, I cannot not talk about creativity.
Right.
And there's this one campaign that you guys did around the social distancing time for Fevicol, and that was very popular. It was first of all the COVID wala time, and it's very hard for you to get the bigger brand come out and curate a campaign that fits well for an established brand like Fevicol. But you took another step of struggle of, defending that campaign's success depended completely on the number of remixes that happened. Curating a campaign like Fevicol, it's just not enough that creativity is just the only thing, right? So you need a proper media and tech in place. So I think that's what your website also says,
Yes.
creativity plus media plus technology. So now I want to understand what are the different functions in marketing that absolutely need tech. Like there's no way that you can say, no, I can't do tech in this function of marketing. Can you make it a little more simpler? Because there are so many things in marketing in itself that involves tech, and it can be a little overwhelming for any business that sees this video. So can you make it a little simpler?
So, technology is fairly a broad term which is nowadays thrown around and used very broadly. But I think today it is technology is a must-have more than a nice-to-have.
Right.
It's ingrained in sort of every part of our operations today. So be it, let's say, for your social media marketing, if you're doing ORM for a large business like, let's say, a Domino's, you would still need technology to manage the ORM so that you can quickly reply to your consumer queries across multiple platforms. Email marketing, for example, again, you're using technology to understand what is the best time to send the emails, what are the best time, which are the open rates for your emails, which emails are working for you, segmenting your audience based on their certain preferences. Again, you're using technology there as an underlying to target the audience with the right messaging at the right time. I think all of these functions require to simplify which functions are a must in the marketing space. I think email marketing for sure, having the right marketing tool that can give you the right insight on what are your open rates, what are your bounce rates, what are the segments that you can create, allowing you to create multiple segments and dissect those segments and those. So again, in email marketing, that's where you need technology.
Right.
SEO is another function where we extensively use technology because we worked at with Google Search Console, again identifying what are the keywords people are actually looking for. So we also use technology to understand what are the kind of questions people are asking for on Google, and then from that question, what are the other relevant questions people are asking for. So tools like People Also Ask that allow you to identify what people are really searching for and writing content for that, and thus allow you to rank for SEO again on that. So SEO again becomes a critical area. There is your, of course, WhatsApp marketing. For your Instagrams, of course, there's your Instagram automation, your meta automations that you're using. So these are the areas where you must use technology if you're a small business wanting to scale with limited number of people.
Right.
There's a lot of automation available for businesses to be able to get a small team to do multiple functions that are there, and that's where I think if a business owner is looking, saying, how do I maximize the most out of my team, then looking at identifying some of these technology tools is critical.
Right. See, the challenge with businesses out there is that they would have a limited budget and they might be just starting up. And for them to invest heavily on technology is going to be a little difficult. And also they might not have the bandwidth to, hire people. And like we have in Japan, like how one department you have department for every functions of marketing. That may not be possible for a SMB or something. So is there any, any tip or tricks that you can tell them?
For small businesses, I think it's more, while in today's day and age, I think technology is very easy. I think investing in the right platform can give you far more return than it's showing people at the problem.
Right.
So I think some of the functions where you could rightly be investing in your technology is definitely having the right website provider for you. So investing in the right technology platform for you for hosting your website, because that's where people are coming and looking for you first. Getting a AI subscription for their teams.
Okay.
Because the speed and efficiency that could create within the limited resources that you have, or that even you as a founder may have, is unimaginable.
Right.
Be it reviewing documents, be it giving you a starting point for coming up with a marketing campaign, be it for coming up with insights. I think having that one subscription, it's not very, for a business founder, it's not very expensive.
All right. Thank you so much, Sohail.
Thank you.
I'm going to continue this conversation very more into technology with Temuji next.
Sure.
So thank you for taking the time out.
No, thank you so much.
And it was wonderful to meet you.
Yes, thank you.
Hi, Temuji. How are you?
It's very
I'm good too. So I had a conversation with Sir, and he kind of laid it down for us on what are the different marketing functions that utilize technology. And with you, I want to emphasize more on content marketing.
Okay.
So for content marketing, if you see, okay, so content marketing, the perception is that you just write a blog, you publish it.
Yes.
You make a podcast, you publish it. That's
Yes.
it. That's the perception that comes up.
Yeah.
But there's so much that goes behind making that content work.
Yeah.
And also to organize it, you need a proper tech in place.
Yes.
Can you highlight on that?
Absolutely. So I think the problem that a lot of people face is exactly what you said. The idea is everyone says, how do I utilize tech to create more content? And then what happens is the more you think tech, the more you get stuck in this bubble of saying, let's make something cool.
Right.
Let's make something very technology based. But the whole plan is think about scalability. In today's world, it's all about more content that's coming out. You're writing n number of pieces of blogs, and those blogs are being written from an SEO standpoint.
Right.
Which means I'm writing one topic with a semantic strategy, and semantic means one topic expanded in multiple.
Right.
So one single topic can have 10 blogs, you're writing 20, 30 of them. Then they're divided into trying to grab intent. So there's a lot of information. Then a lot of this is also being done on social media, and a lot of this is also being done on email marketing.
Right.
So what happens is confusion. What happens is getting lost in terms of where is this blog, where is that blog, how many people are editing it, who needs to edit it, when, how are we posting it, what time, has it been posted, has it been not. So a thing that's been taken for disregard, or the thing is not been taken very seriously, is a content management system,
Right.
a CMS.
Yes.
The power of a CMS is incredible. It helps you with a little user-friendly interface so that if you want to write a blog in a particular way, you can write it in a way knowing that it'll also be mobile-friendly.
Right.
You can also add multiple different touch points within the CMS where you have editors, you have approvers, you have feedback people taking in. So if you want to collaborate in multiple different teams, you don't need to send out emails to everybody saying, can you approve this blog? But you have everyone on that CMS approving that blog, making changes, putting it forward. CMSs also have that ability to have inbuilt SEO opportunities. So then you can get your meta titles and all really optimized really quickly, and you don't have to waste time trying to doing all of that. And the power of the CMS has also gone to a level now where you can schedule everywhere.
Yeah.
You can schedule on social media, you can schedule on your website, you can have an email integration. So it becomes your most powerful part of it all. So content marketing, when you're thinking about content marketing, the first thing someone should think about is, what is my organizational part of it? How do I create something that if everyone's going to come to it and I have to put things at scale on multiple different platforms, what is the tech integration? That is your CMS. But it doesn't just stop at the CMS, because now the CMS is just your platform as an interface to write, like a notebook
Right.
that allows you to publish. But what about if I need to now bring in different forms of content? That is different media assets, that is a video or image. How do I bring that in? So there's another thing that we use for a lot of brands called Digital Asset Management System, which is a DAM or a PIN. So we integrate it with the CMS as well. So if someone needs to have access to all different types of media assets, all of it is there. So there's editing that happens on media assets with the DAM. There's editing that happens on the written assets, that is your CMS. There's a communication symbol that goes in there. Everything gets well done and gets sent out.
Right.
So that's how we can scale content marketing. That's how you can create more impact. That's how you can put more pieces of content, dominate everywhere. And then, of course, comes your analytical layer,
Right.
which is where your CRM kicks in. So your CRM allows you to analyze which content pieces are being interacted with most, who are the people that are being interacted, do you have first-party data? Based on that, we can segment, we can cohort, and the crux of content marketing, which is your personalization, all comes together.
Right.
So the idea will always be not how do I use tech to make this blog better, or how do I use tech to make this social media post better? Question should be, can I use tech to ensure that operationally everything is working in the most fundamental correct manner,
Right.
so that there is scalability involved. And scalability includes getting more content out, analyzing the content, cohorting, segmenting, and creating hyper-personalization with that.
Yeah. So when you mentioned about hyper-personalization, I think just sending out content in bulk because we think, okay, this is what our target audience
Yeah.
needs. might not work. But
Absolutely.
now the audience just wants, okay, the website has to talk to me.
Yes.
Like as if a person is sitting down and explaining it to me or solving my needs. So how does technology play a crucial role in hyper-personalization?
It's the most crucial role. So there are two ways of personalization. You could say personalization is one part
Right.
and hyper-personalization is another part.
So I'm so sorry to cut you off. So this kind of started from there, right? Like for
Yeah.
example, if you see before we used to make website for everybody.
Yeah.
Like we think, okay, if we are selling it to business, then I'll make a
Like Web 1.0 where it's a
Yeah.
one-way communication and it was never two-way
Yeah,
communication.
correct. And then came personalization, where okay, you have to address to that particular segment of the audience that you want to
Yeah.
talk to. And now we're talking about hyper personalization.
Yes.
So yeah, you.
So it's a wonderful journey, and the whole journey is about how well you know your audience. So one way that I always discuss is, if you want to go online, think about the most offline viable journey and then move it online.
Right.
So in offline, if someone comes to your store and interacts with your store, what happens is your salesperson or your marketing person can see that person move around,
Right.
interact with any product, try the product or eat product, and then what happens is you start building out this database,
Yeah.
saying that, okay, this person likes all of this, the next time this person comes here, when I do it. But when you go online, your store is your website, whether it's a B2B, B2C or a D2C store. And you don't have full visibility on that one person. You have lakhs of people showing up. And now, of those lakhs of people, you have a few people that will give you first-party data, and a few people that will just bounce. With certain technology like CDPs and with CRMs, we bridge that gap. So when it comes to unidentified data, CDP allows you to analyze how one person is moving, interacting, and then the minute that person gives you that first-party data, you get into the CRM, gives you even more. So now when it comes to personalization, you can break it down, say this person has come from this region, because you might not have first-party data. If this person has come from this region, maybe adjust your website to push data that's important for that person. So we do something like this for Tata Communications, where with Tata Communications, if you're coming from the APAC region or you're coming from the US region or the European region, information for that region gets switched off. What that means is our banners change, our content changes, important content gets pushed up, the chatbot reacts differently. So that's one way. Now, if I have first-party data, I can go even further, where depending on what I already know, I can send certain notifications, certain pings, certain emails, and be more communicative about what I'm doing. So that way, we create a better experience for someone. But again, without these CDPs and without these CRMs and without people understanding how to create these journeys, and without actually someone saying, I need to keep adjusting my journey, you will never have a set hyper-personalization route. These are never standard. These are always dynamic and always evolving, because you might react a different way, I might react a different way, and the next time you come with it. So there's an ever-evolving movement when it comes to this, but it's about analyzing. And you need that single center source of truth to understand what's happening. And only then can you push information. So you have to segment, you have to cohort, then you have to test. That's the only way to do it.
Okay, so we spoke about content,
Yeah.
and we spoke about how content is being produced at scale, then we spoke about personalized content. Now, the thing is, we are producing it,
Yeah.
but for it to reach the right audience,
Yeah.
you need proper SEO and SEM strategies in place.
Yes.
And if you go online, you just have so many blogs, so many videos.
Yes.
On Instagram, people just telling you, do this, do that, and these are the 5 tips you can follow.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if they would really work. But
Yeah.
since you are experts here and you have done it for bigger brands,
Yeah.
can you share like top 3 or 4 tips that you can give to
Yeah.
our audience on SEO and SEM?
So one thing I would refrain from doing is giving you the top 3 or 4 tips. So I think the most common thing that people do is say, here's 5 tips to do an
Yeah.
effective SEO strategy.
Right.
And those 5 tips will always be, do keyword research, right?
Know your audience.
Know your audience.
Yeah.
Do keyword research, know your audience, write relevant blogs,
Yeah.
make sure your page speeds are okay, you're mobile friendly, and your backlinks are placed. 6 of the most common tips. But it doesn't work like that.
Correct.
Because every single person is doing exactly that. But when it comes to getting your content out from an SEO optimization method, it's so much more, because your keyword list and your keyword research will be, say, 100 to 200 keywords.
Right.
But how do I now split those keywords up into different intents? For example, if there is someone that's coming just from an awareness intent, which is, I just want to learn a little, I'm not too sure, I want to dip my feet into the water and test it out. How do I write? So the key is, those type of blogs have certain keywords like what, how, when, right? So I need to adjust for that. And then what happens is, what about the audience members that are coming with absolute intent, which is maybe a purchase intent or a sign up for a demo intent. So you got to figure out those keywords in a long-term perspective, or long-tail perspective, saying strategies, best strategies, successes. You got to add those there. And on top of that, when you're writing multiple different blogs, you have to ensure that Google is not treating each blog as a duplicacy aspect. So you have to make sure that the team is putting certain tags in place, certain canonical tags, certain schemas in place. So you also have to understand, does it make sense for me to rank 1, or does it make sense to me rank number 3? The assessment is ranking number 1 important, or is ranking number 3 giving me better quality leads? A lot of people will just dominate and try to rank at number 1. But when they look at the back end, they'll see that I'm ranking number 1, but I'm not getting any leads. So what am I doing? Let's not pay the agency anymore. Let's blame something. Maybe they're not ranking correctly. But the question is, you don't always have to rank number 1.
Right.
You can rank number 3 and get better quality leads, because the people ranking number 1 are probably ranking for irrelevant keywords. So that's what the fact is. It's not always 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. It's not always, oh, there's so much. It's about how you're going to create this mind map of content that's been built out, and how is SEO going to support. So when it comes to SEM, know that Google is very dynamic, and the ads that get run are also very dynamic, which means sometimes the ad might not show up. It might show up with me, but might not show up with you.
Yeah.
So does that mean I've lost the opportunity to gain you or me as a lead? Yes. But can I then use an SEO strategy and talk to my media team and say, of these 100, let's split up these keywords in a way that if you're running an ad in a certain keyword, let me also write some content.
Right.
So if the ad doesn't show, or if your ad is a low rank, or if someone doesn't want to click on the sponsored link, I'm still there. So therefore you work hand in hand. And how does that help? It helps you reduce your overall costs on your media spends, because once I start gaining organic traffic, I can reduce my media spend traffic. But I need that to work together.
So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Now I'm heading to Jatin to talk
Absolutely,
more about
yeah.
technology.
Yeah.
And it was a pleasure to have you.
Pleasure's all mine. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hi, Jatin. But before I jump on to questions with you, I saw that there's a cat sitting over there on the chair, and I can see how Shabang is. He's also a very important part of Shabang.
Chief cat officer is what she is. So generally at Shabang, you have that culture of, when we say all inclusive, we are actually on all inclusive. You would see cats, you would see dogs. There was this other day, a guy brought his parrot.
Oh, okay.
So that's how we sort of build the culture over here, that this is a place where you can relax and work.
Okay.
But when we were shifting from work from home to work from office, we wanted to ensure that the work from office is as comfortable as work from home.
So now I was talking to Temujin on content and SEO and all that. But when we talk of content, we cannot think of content these days without AI, especially without ChatGPT. So marketers are heavily relying on ChatGPT for content curation specifically. Do you think it's a positive development, or is it a potential drawback?
I think a year back, everyone was saying that AI is gonna replace content writers and copywriters. What has happened is, because we are working with the brands, the answers that and the questions that we are getting from the brand is, why are you using AI for the content? I do not want AI generated content, right?
Okay.
But that being said, I think where ChatGPT and tools like copy.ai sort of come into play is for ideation.
Right.
Generally, the ideation of a copywriter is always limited to what's happening in their world, right? For a past month or a 2 month, right? Or the brief that has come in the research that they have done. When you feed the brief to an AI, it can do the research in the entire universe of data that it was trained upon. That's why you can, from there, you can get a lot of different ideas. Once you get those ideas, then you can build on top of it.
Right.
So that's how I believe that AI and content and copywriting sort of come together.
Right.
But purely AI, I don't see as of now it being able to create impactful copies or content which is brand-led. The other drawback is, the policies that Google is coming up with, right? So copywriting is for social, for example, and content writing, long form writing is for blogs that you write and sort of also helps your SEO.
Right.
But Google keeps flagging the content if it was based on AI,
Right.
and that's when your SEO scores goes down.
No. This is a common misconception, Marketers normally believe that, okay, if I want to write a website or a content, then if I just get the basic script ready and get it written by AI, then they feel like, oh, this is the best content ever.
Right.
But Google actually, it will be able to...
It has to be personalized.
Right, yeah.
And that's where the tools which are able to sort of identify that this content was generated via AI.
Right.
And this tool keeps on evolving.
Right.
So what we have also understood is, in terms of changes,
Right.
there were certain hacks with which these people were able to sort of manipulate these tools so as to understand and create an impact that this content is not, while it was generated via AI, still it said 0% by AI and it's completely 100% human generated. But what we have seen in a couple of months itself, that hack doesn't work.
Right. I have a few mythbusters that I want to ask you. And for that, I think we can take that couch and...
Let's do that.
Yeah. So I have a few myths for you and I want you to bust it for our audience.
Yeah.
The first one is a marketing automation tool is too complicated. So I don't want to use it for my business.
This was a misconception which was there, I think, prior to 2020, because those tools then were actually very complicated and it was technology that was supposed to be built out, right? But since 2020, there are so many players that have come into play, and these tools are over there in the market, which I think are in a state wherein a marketer can get on them and start dragging and dropping and building those consumer journeys. So it's as simple as that. In fact, some of the systems that we have built, what it does is it creates an entire unified business architecture for the brands. So you have a place where you connect your data. You have social media which integrates with it. So if there are leads, if there is discovery that's happening on social media, then it leads back to your data where you're connecting them. That internally connects back to your chatbot, through which there are WhatsApp communications that flow out, through which there are email communications that flow out. So there are tools like that which are available in the market, through which now you do not need a very technical company to sort of jump in the ship and then build it out for you from scratch. But a series of marketeers and strategists can do that. So when it comes to Zoho having tools, I don't think there is any tool that is left which Zoho doesn't have. That captures the entire arena of all the tools available. I think they were the very first tool that I know which is not just have A plus B plus C capabilities, but if you want to customize it and make it tailored fit, right, for any business,
Right.
You have the capability of doing so. So it gives you that interface to build it as you want.
Right.
And that's something that we did for brands like Britannia, Noble Hygiene and Bodycraft, for which while there was an awards in the CRM category last year by ET Brand Equity, all the tool companies were there, but we won the gold award. And we use Zoho as a platform for all of these three brands, right? So the power of Zoho is, whatever it brings to the table and the multitude of tools that it comes up with, but at the same time giving an opportunity to the brands and to the agencies so as to build it and make it tailored fit for the brands.
Right. So I have one more myth for you, and I want you to bust it for the audience. So this one will be, if we do email marketing, the chances are they go in the inbox of a spam.
So it's a big myth because it would not, right? So the first, there are ways of doing it. Right? It would if you do not have any understanding of email marketing per se, but there are rules that are being defined. Right? So let's just say that you use a tool like Zoho Campaigns per se, right, to do email marketing. Now what happens is you have to do SPF authentication, you have to do DKIM authentication, which sort of tells the user that, let's just say there's an email client called Gmail where you're sending out the email. So when the email lands over there, it verifies whether it's coming from the right domain or not. It verifies if that SPF was present. I'm probably getting too technical for the audiences.
No, that's the reason why you're the tech guru of Shabang. It's very evident from your conversation.
So that way, what happens is that the email client also recognizes it's coming from an authentic source. There are then on top of it other rules that have been defined by Google. For example, there is a 60-40 rule.
Right.
So your image content on the emailer, if it's more than 60%, then the chances of landing it in spam increases significantly.
Right.
So you have to abide by these such protocols that have been set. And when you do that, right? So whether you're doing marketing automation, whether you're doing batch and blast, it doesn't land in the spam. There's one more thing, that if you're sending out transactional emails, they never land in spam. You always go in your inboxes. So the game is just this, that if you're doing commercial messaging, how do you move the mails from spam to your promotional messages to your inboxes?
Right.
So people would have seen most of their Myntra messages land on inboxes.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Yeah.
So there's a science to it.
Thank you so much for joining us. And in this tech session, I think I wanted this entire episode to be very, very tech.
Yeah.
And I think I got such good, insights from all of you that took part in the video. And thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. It was Yash.
Now we are here for the fun segment that we have in our series, and for that we've got gems of content of Shabang, and all of them have been handpicked by Jatin to be a part of this, segment. And so the segment basically will be, you'll have to give a marketing pitch, and you have to basically sell it to one of you, maybe whoever comes on stage will sell it to the person they like, and they have to be convinced with that particular pitch, and that marks it a win. Okay. So that's the game's format, and so the objects that I've picked are so random that it is so hard to sell them. So you have to make it a little funny, a little engaging. You have to make the drama, the whole, masala, everything in it, and then you'll have to pitch it to the person you like. Okay, ready? So who wants to go first? Yeah. So.
Oh wow, okay.
Who are you selling to?
Everyone.
Everyone.
Okay. You've just woken up. You're supposed to be in the office by 10:30. It's 11. Your manager is calling you. Anirudh, where are the blogs? Why have you not reached the office yet? But you've just woken up. You've not even had a bath yet. It's raining. It's July. Mumbai is flooded. But work comes first. As our rightful mentor, Temujin once said, what do? You take your trusted rubber duck, take off your t-shirt, and plunge into the floods. Because what comes first? That's right. Your rubber duck comes in colors: yellow, green, blue, purple, whatever. It can match the color of your skin if you want. Because in the Mumbai floods, what comes first? Thank you guys. My name is Anirudh. That's been my time.
Okay, he made it like a stand-up comedy. So are you guys?
I never followed that.
Are you guys convinced with this pitch? I think it kind of looked like a Julius Caesar drama. Sorry.
Would you buy this rubber duck?
I would think about it.
Okay.
But I didn't say yes. I'm in the consideration phase of the funnel.
Consideration.
Yeah, I need more thought. Okay. I think it was pretty good because he went first. We have to give it to them.
Yeah.
Give it to him for that.
Full point for presentation.
Yeah. Okay. And also the dramatization that he did.
And second step of the funnel, I mean, that's
That's still a win.
skipped awareness directly.
Yeah.
Consideration.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so we will have the next person present for us. Okay. Tell us what the object is first.
It's a bubble wrap clothing.
Okay.
Okay, so imagine you're going into a very stressful meeting. You were supposed to have the deck yesterday 7 p.m. for you to review it. Unfortunately, when you have team members like who are investing their time on,
Rubber ducks.
rubber ducks, right? They're busy with rubber ducks and they don't have the time to prepare the deck. I got a meeting your manager at 10 a.m. sharp. I know the deck's not ready. He's on his way, playing around with the bubble duck. preparing the presentation. He's just created the welcome slide, and I am taking 15 minutes to talk on that welcome slide. What do I do meanwhile? I remove my anxiety. So that's how a bubble wrap proves my hair. And there are many more situations I think that you end up in where you want to remove a lot of your anxiety and not show it out to your manager, to your clients, anybody. So I remove my hair.
Also make the person you hate the most wear the bubble wrap and then carry pins with you the next day.
I think that's a very good idea.
Yeah.
I think we all have that.
That will actually.
I need it today. I will buy the product myself. I'll take one copy for myself. So would you guys buy it? I would consider that. Yeah, I would.
I'm aware about it now.
Right.
It's a good idea.
Sounds comfortable.
Great pitch, yeah. Sounds comfortable.
Okay.
Great. What about you? It's not an environmental friendly of it because plastics. Anxiety hurts you not very good.
It's recycling.
Right? It has to get out of the human body. Otherwise, can go up to the next level. Child, because you love me.
Where to climb? Just supposed to be
Okay. Yeah, that was wonderful. Give her a big round of applause. Thank you. So we unfortunately have the last chit for you. And you will not have any options to pick.
Thank you for that. I think surely that's in the situation.
Sticky situations are my thing. Okay. Wow. So my object over here is a selfie printing toaster. So practical, right? Okay, I'll give you a scenario. What if you're coming to office? I'll give you 2 pain points. A, you come to an office where you hate everyone. Okay? Secondly, you hate the breakfast. Idli, dosa, poha, upma. List is over. You've eaten that for the 5 days of the week. Now you have the 6th day because you're on a working Saturday. The troubles increase. In comes your selfie printing toaster. Now here's the catch. Whose face will you print on your toast? Exactly the person who made you work on this Saturday. Your manager. Now, imagine your pleasure with a picture of your very well-dressed manager. You know, the one from its LinkedIn. And you bite into that picture. You know away. So, no hate towards my manager. I got my appraisal. But the options are endless. You can use this at home. I'm sure you don't like all of your family equally. You can gift it to another friend who you know has marriage troubles. The applications, universal. Talks the true Indian Nazi. When she brought in the marriage and she proved she's an Indian Nazi. So that was my pitch for my world-class selfie printing toaster. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Guys, do you buy it?
I'm buying it for
I'm buying it. They are my team.
I need it.
She's your manager, that's what
You can't see the
10 units of it.
Okay.
Fastest selling product on this episode of Shark Tank.
Okay, that was wonderful. You guys have been such good sport. The best thing is you guys have been so supportive when each of you were coming and presenting and all. And that was the best part of it. I can see how cohesively you guys work as a team. So thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much. We had a great time.
Yeah, same here. Thank you. And that was about today's episode with Shabang. I hope you guys learned a lot about content strategy and how technology plays a crucial part in curating content. Hope you guys enjoyed it as well. I hope to see you in the next upcoming episode. We have an amazing firm in the lineup of Behind the Brand Bus.